All right, so breaking news. The Mortal Kombat Twitter account just released this tweet with some amazing, unexpected news. So it says NetherRealm is now focusing on its next project, and after more than 2 years of supporting Mortal Kombat 11, DLC for the game, including characters, has come to an end. So that's a pretty big announcement, something we wasn't expecting. But at least on the bright side, it says they're focusing on another project, so we can expect something in the future. But starting with you, Mr. Game and Live, what is your first reaction to this? First thoughts? Go ahead.
I mean, I didn't see this coming. I mean, mainly because I thought they were gonna at least do one more combat pack. Um, I mean, people have been hinting at Ash for like ever since the game dropped, like before the game dropped. Like we've heard Chainsaw and people, oh, Ash is coming to the game. I even thought Doomslayer was coming to the game. But now that's not gonna be the case unless we're gonna have to wait for MK12 or whatever. But I mean, I guess people are probably pleased, and I'm sure there's some people that are probably not pleased. But it's like I feel like some of the communities, like man, it's like a lot of divisiveness. Everybody's just like, I don't like the way they're doing this with MKE, this, that, and the third. So I mean, it's like, well, you know what? Let's just move on to the next thing. So hopefully, whatever they have cooking up now. I mean, we've heard the talk about the possible NetherRealm Marvel game. That could be they were like, hey man, let's move on to this Marvel game. I mean, it could be Injustice 3. Who knows what this new project is that they're working on? But I'm down for seeing whatever it is. Hopefully, whenever the footage drops, I don't know if it's gonna be later this year or next year, but I definitely say I was not expecting that. I mean, the game still seems to be running strong with like certain online tournaments and stuff of that things of that nature, like events and stuff. But yeah, I really was thinking they were going to do at least one more pack. People would want to see maybe like Reptile in the game. Maybe bring back Takeda, but I hate to say it, but I have a homeboy that's a Takeda fan, and it's like no Takeda unless he comes out in something else. No Takeda. So we just have to wait and see. But yeah, this is unexpected. Cause I think MKX did like 3 combat packs if I'm not mistaken. So I was expecting like that was gonna be by default just like standard. But yeah, the way the game is now, that's what it's gonna be. DLC. They've already did the DLC aftermath story inclusion. So I guess they was like, we've given y'all the story, we're giving y'all some characters. All right, move on to the next. So yeah, this is came out of left field, man.
That is part is no fair tour.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, like we're pretty much guaranteed no Ferrantor now. Like that's what kind of like saddens me a little bit. I'm like, oh man, like now we're definitely not gonna get Ferrantor in MK11. So I don't know, man. I was already kind of like the moment they said that, I'm like, oh man, I can't believe you betrayed me. I'm like, this was a time travel game. You could have put anybody in the game. I mean, this was the game to like. I mean, technically speaking, if you wanted, you could have turned this game into like a Mortal Kombat Armageddon type game with like all the characters in it. Technically speaking, if that was really, I mean, that obviously that wasn't their intent, I guess. But if you had wanted to do that, like you could have easily taken it that direction. Because I mean, if we're going to be pulling people from like time and through time and space, I mean, there's nobody that's inaccessible at that point. But it is what it is. So now we're not going to get it anymore. And like I said, no characters or support for MK11, right? Like that's kind of crazy, man. I mean, they're already working on the new title. Hopefully, like it's something good. Hopefully, I mean, if they do the Marvel NetherRealm Marvel game, that would be kind of cool. I'd like to see what that's like, especially in like the early stages, so you can get a good idea of what direction they're going and stuff. That would be kind of cool. Like maybe Marvel versus DC, which would actually be pretty crazy. But I mean, it's like then of course you get into the point where you have to balance the expectations of people from playing the normal Marvel games and then playing your Marvel game, and then kind of reaching like a balance there. So I don't know, but anyway, like that means that's just one of many things, right? They could be working on like one of their remakes of the old MK games. It could be working on in the next Injustice game. I mean, there's so many other things they could possibly be working on. The next thing might not even be Mortal Kombat related. So we'll see what happens. But I would just like to end as I started with that. I'm just sad that Ferrator is basically not going to be in the game. That very saddening to me. I was hoping for it. I feel betrayed. That's it.
Yeah, for a while now, people have been wondering what's going to happen with MK. You know, is there going to be another update? Are they going to be announcing a new game? The Mortal Kombat Pro competition was still going on, so they were still supporting it in that way. So, you know, it's understandable that people were thinking like, okay, so, you know, what's next? We're expecting something, you know. But I mean, I guess we finally got that announcement that it's come to an end. So, you know, you can just expect the next thing. I don't think too many people will be, you know, upset about it because it was a possibility if you haven't said anything about the game in this long, you know. And the anticipation from the rumors that we've heard about, you know, Marvel versus DC, maybe Injustice 3, I think those are like some appetizing, you know, things that, you know, people can hold on to. And with this announcement, I'm pretty sure, hopefully, we can say that, you know, some other announcement is going to come in the near future. Uh, so basically, they're telling us like, look, turn your eyes away from anything MK11 and look towards the future. It's like, okay, what? Okay, well, hopefully you can give us something like a taste of something to look forward to. So, yeah, it was kind of one of those things that you thought was gonna happen, but I mean, just for it to be dropped off in a tweet out of nowhere, it's still kind of like, you know. But you know, it is what it is. So, anybody else got anything to add before we dip out?
Just on to the next, man. So hopefully everybody's has been satisfied with the game, and hopefully they just like look, keep a mind open to what they got in store next. So
Would y'all rather Injustice 3 or that rumor with Marvel versus DC?
Mm, I'd be okay. I'd be okay either way, to be honest. Either one or the other. I'd be just as excited for one as the other. Like if they announced Injustice 3, I'd be like, oh wow, Injustice 3. But if they announced like their Marvel title, oh more boy, the NetherRealm Marvel title, I'd be like, I figure either one, you can't go wrong either way. I think.
I'm personally more excited for the Marvel just to see because it's something new from them and to see how they handle it because they've never handled a Marvel title before. So I'll just be curious to see how they would, go about doing that. See what style is going to be in, how the game is going to play.
I'd rather Injustice 3, because Injustice is a great series, and also there doesn't need to be another Marvel game anything until MVC4 is made, and that's just how I feel on it, and that's the way I feel. So, yeah.